Hi, come on over. Have a cup of tea with me. I want to tell you about my ghost story. My ghost story takes place in Prescott, Arizona in the year 1999. Prescott is the home of the oldest rodeo and was part of the old Wild West. Okay, so a local resident of the Wild West in Prescott, Arizona was Doc Holliday and some members of the Earp family. So in 1999, I had taken a part-time job working in an antique store close to the world-renowned Whiskey Row, where the bars were, and in the Wild West, the brothels were above the bars, okay? So this particular day was towards the end of June, which is monsoon season for Prescott, Arizona, and right around noon every day, rain would come down in sheets, and the customers would come in off the streets and run into the stores to gain cover from the rain. So on this day that happened, and a bunch of customers came running into the store to get out of the rain. They were looking around at the antiques. Some of them are high dollar items, so they had kids there and they were telling their kids not to touch. And in the middle of the store, there's a locked jewelry case. And many people hovered around that to see all the old jewelry, pocket watches and lockets, brooches, and things like that. But then the rain stopped, maybe 20 minutes later, and everyone left the store and went back outside. So I headed to the back of the store to sit behind the old cash register, which was from the late 1800s. So if you can picture this building, it's an old building with really tall ceilings, and there's a lot of light and mirrors. So a lot of light dancing off of mirrors and shining on the antiques. And so I would spend most of my days dusting and cleaning the dust in there, and then head to the back of the store by the cash register and sit down and read my book. So when everyone left the store, I went back to the cash register, sat down, picked up my book, and then I realized, oh, okay, there's someone still in the middle of the store by the jewelry case, behind the jewelry case, standing there, kind of like as if he was keeping shop. And I kind of was wondering why this customer was behind the jewelry case. And I knew I had locked it, so I knew that the merchandise would be fine. So I put down my book and I was going to go down and help this gentleman, because obviously he wanted to see something in the jewelry case. So I headed down there, and right in front of me, the gentleman slowly faded away. This man looked right at me, okay? So he had a pale blue button-up pressed shirt on, strawberry blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skin. He looked right at me, like I thought he was a person in the store. And then he just faded away in front of me. So I kind of just sat there for a minute, not knowing what my next step was. Mainly, I was just kind of doing some deep breathing because I was afraid now. I realized, okay, this place is old, that's true. It's haunted, is what I'm thinking. Or maybe I'm losing my mind. I don't know. So a few moments later, Barb, the owner of the store, she was out of town because she was doing an estate sale, and she had called to see how are things going in the store. And I said, oh yeah, things were good, and we talked about the sales that day and how things had gone that week. And then I almost didn't want to ask her, but at the end of the call, I said, Barb, do you have any ghosts here? And she said, oh yes, what one did you see? And I said, oh, okay. All right, well, I saw this young man between the ages of, I would say, 19 and 25. very handsome, strawberry blonde hair, fair skin, bright blue eyes, and pressed shirt, hair impeccably, perfectly cut, but in a style that was not of the times. And I let her know about that. She told me that this particular spot used to be the old post office. So the blue shirt that I was seeing on this gentleman was his work shirt. He was, maybe in his mind, still working. But like I said before, there had been 2 fires in Prescott, burning the whole town down twice. After that, they did rebuild in brick. And this is one of the buildings that I was working in, is the rebuilt brick buildings. That's my ghost story. I never forgot it. I wonder if he maybe saw me and wanted to be a part of the workforce again, and probably I was close to his age, from what I saw, and maybe he even saw something in me, and it warmed my heart. I never forgot it, and I hope you've enjoyed my story. You have a great evening and happy Halloween.